Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's control the water.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second round of the 2020 Bona Cup, presented by SB Unfurled. Bona commenter here with SB Unfurled, getting you ready for the next game. It is the 1961 Sweet 16 team taking on the team that hasn't even really played a real game yet, the 2020-21 squad. SB Unfurled, what are you thinking about this matchup?
We are going to get to see two of our top 8 or 9 players in Tom Stith and Fred Crawford on this 61 team. Tom Stith is our second highest rated player, one of the great St. Bonaventure basketball players of all time, of course. This team went 24-4. They got as high as 3rd in the entire country. Some people said that this is the best team in Bona history, although most people would probably say 1970, but there are those who would say 61 has a case for that, even though they're the 4th seed in this, and we can get into why maybe during the game a little bit. But, you know, they're going up against a team, like you said, we haven't seen, but a lot of players that we're familiar with, and we know how good they are. They already upset the 1977 NIT team. I think Oshun can provide some big matchup problems down low. 61 has a couple bigs who are 6'8" or 6'9", but they don't have the size and athleticism to match up underneath.
Nice.
So don't think that this is, going to be a rout by any means. I think we could have a pretty close game here. And going to the Final Four in the Riley Center is on the line.
That's right, and unlike our first game of the second round when we had a former player join, we don't have a former player joining, but we do have a fan of some of the teams that are much older than what we've been normally talking about. We tend to have a very new recency bias with all the, the newer current players and some of the former players in the 2010s. But we're now joined by a fan of the Bonnies for few decades. I'll let you talk about it though, Phil. Phil Quinlan, Phil Quinn 70 on Twitter. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm enjoying it.
So how long have you been a fan of the Bonnies? Just to give some people perspective on like how long you've been following them.
The first team I really remember at all is that 76-77 team that won the NIT. I was a really little kid, and that was the first team I remember. I became a big Greg Sanders fan because he visited my first grade class. That's the first team I really remember. So, like past the peak of the great years, and then into some really lean years, and now it's a whole lot better than it was for a lot of my memory of it. Like, it's better right now.
Yeah, I remember we had Woj on our podcast, and I don't know if he went to school right around when you did, but we talked
Woj was a year ahead of me.
Was he? Okay, so
yeah,
it's definitely some down years.
Class.
So those late 80s, early 90s, and then the early, mid 2000s, I think, are the two only real down years. Other than that, as you've seen in this tournament, a lot of great eras. Really, every decade has such good teams represented. Mm-hmm. So, of course, you didn't get to see 61. You graduated in 92, you said, but
yeah,
you probably learned a little bit through, some of the more recent history after you were born there. And so, What do you think of the 61 squad and how they would match up against our current team?
Other than you were mentioning before, Oshun being a huge matchup problem, just because of this huge size advantage he'll have. Certainly Stith and Crawford should be able to score on them.
Oshun just won the opening tip as we're underway. Sorry to cut you off.
No.
Yeah, and that matchup problem we're talking about underneath down low is Bob McCauley. He was a good player. He's a 79 in this tournament. So no slouch at all. He was a good big man, as you see him getting a rebound there.
Fred Crawford can't make the first shot there as we're still scoreless about 40 seconds into this one. The winner will play the number 1 overall seed, the 1970 squad, as Oshuniyi lays it in off the glass to get the scoring going. Of course, we saw 49 points out of Bob Lanier last night.
Oh, wow.
49 points, 22 rebounds. On the one hand, would be cool to see our two best players, Lanier and Stith, and maybe two of our best teams ever, but also Oshun versus Lanier, and this team against a team that a lot of these guys met last year.
I've been thinking about that all day, the possibility of Oshun.
Sure.
So either way, I think we have a great Final Four matchup on this Butler region side of the bracket.
And yes, this is our last game in Butler Gym. We'll be heading to the Chinese Riley Center, sponsored by the Shanghai Bears. Justin Winston now into Oshun. Oshuni off the glass and in. 4 points for the big man already.
Quick start for Oshun there, showing a little footwork down low. Don't know if he got away with the travel there or not, but it wasn't called, so 4-0 now.
And there he is. Tom Stith getting on the scoreboard early. The big men taking control, as we don't have a three-point line in this game since the 1961 squad is the home team. If the 2021 team wants to make it to the finals, they'll also have to play the 70 squad without a three-point line, as Oshuniyi, our first slam of the game for him.
Hot start, and that's what we talked about, this little matchup issue down low in 2021, starting off going to him early like we thought they would.
Fred Crawford pulls up. No good. Justin Winston, who's been getting out in transition so far early on. Dominic Welsh takes it back up top. 7 on the shot clock here for Kyle Lofton. English, the shot won't fall. Rebound there for 61. And Tom Stith again off the glass, and so far the two big men are going back and forth. 6 points for Oshuniyi and 4 points for Tom Stith.
Stith this year averaged 30 points and 7 rebounds. I think he's about 6'5". He was listed at. Crawford averaged 22 points and 10 rebounds. So just absurd stats for those two. And then Whitey Martin, the point guard that you'll see, he averaged 21 points, 6 rebounds, probably a lot of assists, although they didn't keep track of those in 61.
McCauley gets into the lane, and we have it tied up here. 3 shots apiece for both teams so far. Kyle Lofton, first shot of the game for him. That's a tough one that won't fall. There's Whitey Martin up top for 61. Tom Stith being tightly guarded by Jared English. Fred Crawford with the shot clock winding down. Dominic Welch on him. Tough shot in the lane, does not fall. Jared English into the lane, no good, and a rebound for McCauley.
No call there. Looked like there's a lot of body. English didn't
That's
get
a
the whistle.
61 foul as Tom Stith puts it in. And Tom Stith currently leads Oshuniyi 8-6. And a timeout for Coach Schmidt. Phil, what do you think of this first start here with both Tom Stith and Oshuniyi going back and forth, scoring all 14 points early?
It's a game of stars. Stith has talked about, a lot of people, some of the serious old timers will make the argument for Stith over Lanier. I'm certainly not qualified to say anything about that. I remember Lanier in the NBA, and I certainly never saw Stith play. But the stars are coming out tonight. I see if the 2021 team can get Lofton involved more with the scoring, or Welch or English, but right now it's the stars doing the job.
Yeah, neither guy wants to give up that short walk across the quad there to go to the Riley Center from Butler as we're back 8-6, 5:12 left to go in the first part of the first half.
And we have 2021, our visiting team, as Lofton gets in the lane, can't finish. 61, the home team, so you're going to hear all the hits from the early 60s.
And the first foul there for Justin Winston. And a foul, or Whitey Martin will go to the line on the and one.
This team was tough to seed, tough to make. Of course, we talked about this with the 52 team, tough to make on and create just because of the lack of stats, the lack of video. There was, unlike the 52 team, a video on YouTube that I found of this 61 team playing against Duquesne. So although it was hard to see the numbers and hard to see who was who, I was able to watch this team play and see how they play a little bit. You can't really mimic it entirely in 2K, but I think this is a pretty fair representation of what this 61 team looked like and played like.
They're out to an early 11-6 lead as Oshuni into the lane, and he is going to get fouled by Whitey Martin, the big man, taking some contact.
Oshun been dominant so far.
8 points for him already, and he'll head to the line and make it 9.
And unlike, I think, that 2002 team, even you could argue 2016 and 2018, this current team, I don't know if they'll have much trouble or really even care that there isn't a three-point line.
Oh, Oshuni with the block. There's our first Oshun block there. Oshun block tracker. I hope you're watching, so keep track of that one. 7 on the shot clock for Fred Crawford. Into the lane. He gets around Kyle Lofton and puts it off the glass and in. Fred Crawford also has his number retired for the Bonnies off this squad. Oshun up top. Of course, he told us on SB Unfurled and Friends he wants to improve his outside game this season. Back to Oshun behind the back. Lofton with a deep shot. Back iron, no good. Tough defensive stand there for 61, not giving any room on defense as they hit the jumper in transition there.
Last game we got to see Vasquez, Attaway, Shaw, and new transfer Eddie Creel. We'll see when they come in. Schmidt's sticking with his starters for a good amount of this first quarter. 61 will have some subs coming in though. Desperation
He for Jared English does not fall, and the offense is really bogged down for the Bonnies. And we unfortunately did see this quite a bit last season as Tom Stipp into the lane, puts it in, and a timeout for Schmidt, his second timeout already.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you might see a shift change from Schmidt. And the video game Schmidt more likely to do it than Schmidt in real life, but might be time to do that now.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of Jalen Attaway at the 4 this coming season. I've talked about it before. I think he'll step into that Bobby Planutis role, splitting time at the 4 with Winston, maybe even coming down to the 3, but we're so deep in the 2 and the 3 that Attaway, they think, is athletic enough to give us minutes at the 4. You see him in there, and Jalen Shaw, the new transfer big man. He'll come in and give Oshun a breather as well.
17-8. 13 minutes left to go in the first half. Kyle Lofton gets around his defender and makes his first shot of the game. That's the first make for anybody not named Oshuni on the squad. On the Shun squad, of course.
Well, Shun's on the bench, so someone's going to have to step up. They're down 7. They can't let this balloon without a three-point line and get down double digits early here.
Great defense for Kyle Lofton there, but Tom Stipp gets the rebound and another make for him. He saw Bob Lanier's game last night, and he wants that 50-point title there. Kyle Lofton now into Jalen Shaw. Shaw backing down Whitey Martin. He puts it off the glass and in. I believe those are his first 2 points as a Bonnie.
I think he had a couple free throws in the first game, but that might be his first field goal. He got a mismatch down low.
Oh, and Shaw with the block. The big man party for the Bonnies here, and wafting off the glass and in. 14-19, a couple strong possessions there, and it looks like Schmidt wants to get the 21 guys to run a little bit more so they don't have to set up the half-court offense. Stiff now being tightly guarded by Shaw, but gets around him just enough to put it in. He's having a tremendous first half so far. (21-14). 21 squad down by a touchdown. 11 minutes to play as Vasquez, who just checked in as well, gets the ball up top with 7 on the shot clock. Tightly guarded, he'll have to throw after the desperation 3, and that doesn't even hit the iron, and that'll be a shot clock violation. Alejandro is probably upset that there's no 3-point line in this one.
A lot of Tom Stith early. He was so good at St. Bonaventure, an All-American. He was selected 2nd overall in the first round by the Knicks, behind Indiana's Walt Bellamy.
Dominic Welch in transition. He's going to get fouled by Whitey Martin, who picks up his 2nd of the half, as Dominic Welch will try to get on the scoreboard himself. And Whitey Martin picks up his 2nd. In case you don't know, there are some NBA rules that we can't change, like timeouts, but we can change fouls, so 5 fouls and you're out.
Take a break. 2 shots.
Dom Welch and his free throw shooting was key to that win over the 1977 NIT championship team. Our big upset of the first round, 12-5. That was a close game. Welch hitting 4 straight free throws down the stretch to seal that one and knock out a team that some people thought could win this whole thing. Great players in Greg Sanders and Essie Hollis. Phil,
Welch converts both free throws.
Phil, you said you do remember. You were really young, but you do remember that 77 team. Did you watch that?
The NIT game? That's really like the first game I remember watching, yeah. And that first team that, sucked me in. If it had been like, the time I was a student, that quality was a bit unfortunate, but coming back to that quality of play.
Right.
Desperation shot there, no good for 1961. 8 seconds left. Jalen Attaway with the ball for the first time. Out in transition, jumper doesn't fall. It's going to get rebounded by Whitey Martin. And that'll do it. It's been all about the big men here in the first part of the first half. Tom Stith and Oshun Oshuni going back and forth, but 61 has an early lead. Welcome back, and if you're just joining us here in Butler Gym, where we actually have a blimp, we're joined by a longtime Bonnie's fan, Phil Quinlan, Phil Quinn6, at Phil Quinlan70 on Twitter if you want to follow him. What do you think of the first quarter so far, Phil?
Well, it's still a very exciting game. Tom Stith getting the 61 team out to a really fast start, but starting to see signs of life out of the 2020-2021 team, and as other people besides Oshun get involved.
Nice
in the
layup there for
side.
Jalen Attaway. You're right.
This 61 team is
Whitey
Martin.
Whitey Martin
Nice
with 2
floater.
fouls with the floater off the glass. He's got 5 early.
The 61 team could have easily been, maybe should have been the number 2 seed, but there was more than just what the team did in their era that went into the seeding. A lot went into it, including matchups, not wanting repeat players to play too early. Stith gets a steal from Vasquez. He's going to take it coast to coast and lay it in. Hit Alejandro's pocket there.
25-18. The winner of this game will play the 1970 Final Four team next Monday in the Riley Center. Jalen English, the jumper off the free throw line, misses. Oshuni's checked back in. He's had a good start so far, but he's beat in transition for the put-in.
Some quick answers for 61, getting out in transition on fast breaks.
61 has held the lead for most of this game. Tom Stith has been phenomenal early on, going back and forth with Oshuni as Kyle Lofton with a nice little finger roll. That's necessary points as he's got 6 so far.
Lofton, you feel like he's a guy who doesn't need the three-point line to necessarily be successful, like some of our guards of the past. As Stith puts in again, his team's up 9 again, and already 16 points for Tom Stith, all in the paint. But with Lofton, he's so good at that mid-range and getting to the basket and finishing and dishing to his teammates that he doesn't really need a three-point line to succeed.
Jalen English makes the free throw line jumper, and that goes in, and a timeout. Jaron English, jeez. Has 2 points, 1 for 6. A very rough start for him, and a very rough start for me trying to say Jaron instead of Jalen. We have too many Jalens.
Jalen Adaway.
Jalen Shaw. Jalen Adams.
Shaw, yep.
The other Jalen Adams. He's not in this tournament.
Nearly
though.
forgotten.
Yeah.
So you ever see a T-shirt cannon in Butler Gym, Phil?
Must admit, not before this.
This 61 team played in the Armory. Phil, do you, not to put you on the spot, because I was wondering this earlier and I didn't have a chance to look it up. Do you know when they stopped playing in Butler and moved to the Armory?
I'm going to say probably after the war, after World War II.
Okay. So all the teams in the Bona Cup probably played in the Armory or the Riley Center. None of them would have played in Butler.
No.
52 team.
My mother says kids used to sit up on the track in Butler. That's not the sort of thing you can copy on NBA 2K, but
that's why we're pumping in the crowd noise.
Jalen English no good. Oshun almost gets the rebound, but it's eventually corralled by Stith. And he's denied.
It's a second block Adaway has had on Tom Stith. Athletic hops of Adaway. He's working on defense too, not just attacking the rim.
Kyle Lofton. But Oshuni with the tip in. I believe he's got 10 now.
Oshun wants a chance to play the dauber. You can tell today. Off to a fantastic start.
Stith to the lane. It is going to be a foul on Jalen Adaway. Both Stith and Oshuni saw Bob Lanier's performance last night, and they want to emulate that.
And that was only one Bob Lanier. We have another Bob Lanier in the 1968 team coming later this week. And that team in the Ironman 5 will be a tough out as well.
First free throw falls for Tom Stith as Eddie Creel checks in for the first time.
Alejandro has a migraine, it looks like.
He looks very frustrated without the three-point line. No shooting bows and arrows today for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, he and Welch, two guys who love shooting it from deep. Probably not too happy about this 61 rules here.
Both free throws fall for Tom Stith, and it's 31-24 with 6 to go. Lofton, who's starting to get going a little bit here, has the ball. Ooh, almost crosses up Whitey Martin, but the defensive shuffle works as Jaron English, the deep three, no good, and Martin with the rebound. Petrovic being tightly guarded by Lofton. Martin with it now to 10 to go on the shot clock. Oshun on Stith, and Stith is going to get around Oshun, but Oshun gets back in time to alter the shot. Doesn't fall as English in transition off the glass and lays it in. Big 4-point swing there for the 21 guys as Stith looked like he was going to have an open layup, but Oshun got in position just enough to get the transition going for the 21 squad. And a timeout has been called by 61. What do we got for music here right now unfurled?
This is The Pony by Chubby Checker.
Ooh.
Couple Chubby Checker songs in here. The Twist. This was maybe my favorite playlist. There's so many good songs from 69 and 70, but 60, 61 was fun.
I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see what Bicycle Man's going to perform to at halftime. That'll be the real interest of the night.
Yeah, we'll see if they have the trampoline out for some acrobatic dunks, or Bicycle Man will be the halftime show.
Bicycle Man needs to go off the trampoline one of these times. Maybe for the final. That would be epic.
I wish we could make that happen.
Bob McCulley, is going to be stripped by Oshun on his way up on the shot. 31-26, less than 5 to go here in the first half. English backing down Fred Crawford and gets in there for the bucket.
Jaron English was off to a slow start, but he's starting to come alive a little bit. Made a couple nice shots.
Ooh, pass over to Tom Stith. No good after Oshun again with some help defense. Eddie Creel gets around his man and slams it in. That's a Creel milk. That's a Creel milkshake right there, folks.
Transfer getting up. Defense underestimate.
Oh, and Oshun swats in the passing lane this time. As Jalen Attaway in transition, but Lofton, the floor general, will set something up. Then the shot clock, Oshun being tightly guarded by, I believe that's Petrovic. Eddie Creel back into the lane again. Oh, back iron doesn't fall. 31-30 here with 3:36 to go as Tom Stith, another jumper and a timeout. The Bonnies, they're kind of pulling off the same kind of strategy 2016 had yesterday. They're letting either Bob Lanier or Tom Stith go off and just try to stop everybody else.
What a play that was by Stith. A little hesitation between the legs, a pull-up mid-range jumper. He is going to be fun to watch, but not if you're 2021 or a fan. If you have them in your challenge pool, which a lot of people did. More people picked 21 than 61, which surprised me.
All you whippersnappers. That's all you whippersnappers.
Yeah.
You kids today. I had 61. I'll let that out now.
You had them winning the whole cup?
Not the whole cup. I think I have 70 for the whole cup, but certainly this game I had 61.
Probably over 77.
No, I'm trying to remember it now. I'm growing feeble by my old age.
Nice little cross up for Jaron English. It doesn't work on the shot, but Oshun tips it right in as the 21 team is out to a 14-6 run. They're now within 1. 61 led by as much as 9. Now only 1 point lead for them as Fred Crawford, tightly guarded by Dom Welch. The Cheektowaga native gets the nice defense. Fred Crawford 1 for 7, a very slow start for him. Welch now, it's a little bit of a screen from Winston. Doesn't work, though. Winston with the mid-range jumper doesn't fall, and Tom Stith with the board. Fred Crawford once again. Now he's guarded by Lofton. Oh, a tough fadeaway for Fred Crawford after a cold start. That'll be necessary to get him going.
Had the green release on a contested fadeaway jumper.
Jaron English was coming over to double almost.
Might get Crawford going there. Beautiful shot.
35-32, 2 to go in here in the first half. Kyle Lofton leans in, but Shooty! He's been getting more putbacks. Early on, they were feeding him. Now he's getting all the points off the glass.
Beating his man McCauley to the rim on those offensive rebounds. He's had some easy putbacks.
Crawford now. That one doesn't fall. 2 for 9 start for him. Dominic Welch up against Crawford. The little fake does not work. And Stith with another board as Fred Crawford now in transition. Almost had the dunk, but he'll lay it in. Are dunks legal in 61? I don't even know.
I don't think you could dunk.
None of these guys were. I think they were banned a little later than that. They were banned like mid-60s, I'm thinking, but I could be wrong.
They were banned after Lou Alcindor, I believe, but I don't think anyone actually dunked in 61, at least probably not on the Bona team.
Shot clock winding down. Shooty from the top of the key. No good. Stith with the rebound. We have 46 seconds left before the half. Fred Crawford. Fred Crawford is liking the turnaround jumper, but that one doesn't fall as he got Lofton to bite on the fake. Justin Winston, no good. Oh, but he gets his own rebound. Over to Oshuni off the glass and in. Oshuni is keeping the Bonnies really close to the Brown Indians. Oh, they give and go to McCauley, and McCauley puts it in.
Yeah, Oshun and Winston came up to double Stith there, and McCauley slipped underneath, wide open.
10 seconds left before the half, and Hannon with the steal out to Crawford with 5 seconds left. He gets it into Stith. Oh, and he's denied by Winston. Half-court heave will not go. And back and forth go the big men. Tom Stith, Oshuni are dueling it down low as the 61 squad leads by 3 at the half. Welcome to the SB Unfurled and Friends halftime show. Bill, what do you think of what we saw in the first half?
Well, it was definitely exciting. Certainly, a little technical glitch there. Certainly, seeing the stars for both teams, Stith coming on very strong to start for 61, and starting to see the nice comeback by the 21 team. Oshun leading the way for them, and maybe we'll see more from others, stars like Fred Crawford and Kyle Lofton in the second half.
Look at the stats here. Oshun already with a double-double. Same for Stith. Oh, he's 1 rebound shy, actually, but 20 points for Stith, 18 for Oshun. Clearly, without the three-point line, they got to feed Oshun.
Yeah, Stith does. Oh, here we go. Trampolines.
Ooh.
Stith does not have 20 assists. That was a glitch on 2K's part. He does have 4 assists, 9 of 16 from the field.
This
really the
a
only
lot
one.
like last night with the 70 squad having Lanier go off, but not much else from the others. That's also the same for the 2021 squad. Lofton and English have 6, but not very efficient from either of them, especially 3 for 11 from Jaron.
Yeah, they're 6 of 20 combined. They're going to have to be a little more efficient next half if they're going to keep up with this 61 team.
Also a tough first half for Justin Winston. You would have thought with like the mid-range game being more important, he might have a bigger role.
Yeah, and especially with these matchups with McCauley on Oshun. They don't have the size necessarily at the 4 spot to match up with Winston, who's 6'8" or 6'9". I think he'd maybe attack more, even post up his man, but Stiff and Crawford doing a good job on the wings and even down low coming in to help. McCauley. This team's, you don't hear too much about what they were good at necessarily. You just know that they were really good, but they had a fantastic defense. And they went 4 years, some of these guys, from the late 50s to the early 60s with 4 straight 20-win seasons. So these guys know how to win.
Rebounds are pretty even, 23-21 in favor of the new guys. They have the largest lead at 9 for the 61 squad. Not a lot of free throws in this one.
No, and look at all the points in the paint. 32 of the 36 points for the 2021 Bonnies are in the paint.
Which probably wouldn't be their game if the 3-point were available to them.
All right, let's get going again. And there they are. It's the trampoline show tonight here in Butler to close us out of our final game in the Butler Regional. Tom Stiff doesn't look impressed by the trampoliners, though. I'm impressed with his stat line there. 29-4 so far for the big man.
Yeah, he's been very efficient, too. Some of the ones he's missed have been swatted by Attaway or altered by Ocean, but if he gets off a clear shot, it's been going in every time.
39-36 as we resume. Winner of this game will play the 1970 Final Four team next Monday in the Riley Center. Jaron English almost gets the steal. Whitey Martin is forced into a tough shot, and Oshun gets the rebound. Whitey Martin's not going to be successful if he keeps shooting over Oshuni.
Not many are, especially if you're a point guard. And a point guard now guarding Oshun on a mismatch. They need to switch back, and they do.
That was important for them. As English, though, gets around his man, but he can't get the layup to fall. Whitey Martin now into the lane. Trying to go in between Welch and Winston, and it doesn't work.
You can see the huge size advantage there.
Oh, shoot! He was cocking back for a dunk. He had to adjust in midair, but puts it in. 18 points for him. 20 for Tom Stiff as the big men are going back and forth once again.
I thought we were going to get a tomahawk there from Oshun, but felt someone on his back hip and just laid it in.
Credit to him for adjusting in midair. The shot clock's winding down, and Oshun with another rebound. Dominic Welch, who's been quiet, is getting out in transition, but he's stripped, and it's stolen up to Tom Stiff, who will lay it off the glass.
Quick points off turnovers there for 61. They're so good at stealing the ball, forcing the offense into mistakes, and then getting out and running. You saw there Tom Stiff all alone on the other side after a nice steal there by 61.
Dominic Welch now with the shot clock at 5, off the glass, no good, but Welch with the board again. He's going to put it in and get the foul. His first points of the game are big for the Cheektowaga native.
And he'll have a chance to tie it up here at the line. The matchup on the wing of Welch and Crawford is a really good one.
Welch converts the and one, and we are tied. 21 was getting really close to tying a lot in the first half, but they have finally made it level. Shot falls there, and 61 retakes the lead.
Beautiful little fall away there from Crawford. He's had not the most efficient night, but the ones that he's made have been beautiful little mid-range jumpers, some fall away, off-balance looks.
2 screens there for Justin Winston. And there's going to be a foul on Whitey Martin. That's his third. Kyle Lofton will head back to the free throw line.
What games have you enjoyed more, the ones in Butler or the ones in the Olean Armory?
I feel like Butler so far has been better, especially what we saw last night. And then the 77-2021 games and the 16-12 games. I think those three have been really good. I mean, this one, we could have all 4 great games in Butler.
Yeah, I agree. Butler's been fantastic. Armory's had a couple good games, but it's such a different atmosphere. It is cool to see all the fans and the different lighting. Definitely two very, as Stith lays it in, again, he has 24. Definitely 2 different venues that we've had here.
45-42 with 6:54 left to go in the third quarter. English now up top. He's going to be stripped. And the layup doesn't fall. 2021 starting to rebound a little bit more than 61. It was a +3 rebounding advantage for them. Now 6. Justin Winston, tough shot from the top of the arc. That won't fall. And Coach Schmidt probably doesn't like that shot selection.
I don't think he does. Not going to his bench, though. He's keeping these starters out there.
Oh, the pass in, and it's no good. And Welch with the rebound. Justin Winston backing down Fred Crawford, and he'll pick up the foul. Justin Winston's been very quiet, not making many shots so far. Not making any, actually. But trying some little fancy footwork there and got the foul call. So he can get to the line and try to make a couple free throws to get himself going.
Winston's a guy I'm looking forward to make a big freshman to sophomore leap, although this offseason has been so out of the ordinary. Guys aren't really getting to play together, not being able to train like they normally would. Definitely going to have an effect on all these teams if we're even back to normal in November as it is. But he was a guy, as well as, of course, Vasquez, who we're looking forward to make that big freshman to sophomore leap.
Winston puts both in to get his first 2 points, and the 2021 squad is only down by 1.
Although they did have very good freshman years as it is, so it's not like they weren't playing at all. Winston was starting games last year as a freshman.
Hannon with the shot clock winding down, over to Stiff. Stiff fires from deep, and it's going to be an air ball and a shot clock violation. And there's that modern defense that we were accustomed to seeing last season. As we see a Milwaukee Bucks blimp somehow lost in the rafters of Butler Gym. We're going to get an official timeout so they can get it down from there.
Is that Jalen Adams' blimp? Or was it Bob Lanier's blimp? Is he scouting? I think Bob Lanier might be in the... I don't know. One of them is.
They both could be scouting because they're both playing in the Armory.
Yeah. Well, and Lanier's getting the winner of this. So that might be Big Bob in the Bucks blimp. Maybe Adams is in there scouting these teams out.
Some Milwaukee espionage is apparently happening in Butler Gym. We'll put Phil on that to go investigate it.
Can you imagine being the bouncer and telling Bob Lanier he's not allowed in Butler Gym?
Yeah, if you want a size 22 shoe upside the head. 45-44, 15-33 left to go in this one. Winner plays Bob Lanier and the 1970 Final Four team. Next Monday, Kyle Lofton with the reverse layup, and that gives 2021 the first lead of the game since the first couple minutes. 12 seed overall, the bottom seed in this tournament beat the number 5 NIT champions last week as Oshuni pulls down the rebound. Lofton in transition, and there's the mid-range jumper we all know that Kyle Lofton can nail. 48-45.
Look, he had an open layup there, decided a little step back jumper, and that looked smooth.
Crawford with a little mid-range game of himself, but slightly inside the paint.
And a quick answer by Fred Crawford. Some stars are all over the court in Butler Gym, as Phil said.
We're closing out Butler Gym in this tournament in style with Lofton and Oshuni versus Stiff and Crawford. Justin Winston, though, no good. And there he is, Oshuni. Almost wanted another dunk, but he settles for the layup.
Oshun looking like he could be an all Bona Cup first team selection if he keeps this up.
2 strong performances out of him after that win over the NIT, as Whitey Martin with a pretty little leaning jumper off the glass there. 50-49. Once again, since this is 1961 as the home team, no three-pointers are allowed. Lofton misses. Rebound for Stiff. Handed into the lane. He's almost stripped by Oshun twice, but Fitzmaurice with the pick up, and he is going to get a foul called on Oshuni. That's only Oshun's first foul, and that's big for this 21 team.
Yeah, that is. Last game we saw him pick up his second foul in the first half. Didn't end up getting into, too much foul trouble. I think he might have ended with 3 or 4, but we're already deep into the second half, and that's Oshun's first. They're letting him play a little bit. Odd that Oshun just picked up his first, and Whitey Martin has 3, I believe, guarding Lofton on all those drives inside.
First shot there falls for Fitzmaurice. Is there a third player that can emerge from 61 to help out Crawford and Stiff?
I think it would be Whitey Martin. He's their third highest rated player. He's an 84, so he's, he was very good. If there's going to be one, it's probably him, although Lofton is a really good defending point guard. So I wouldn't say it's going to be McCauley down low with Oshun playing defense down there. I'd say it'd probably have to be Whitey Martin.
Oshun doubled by 2 guards there. Gets it into Winston, but he can't get it off the glass, and Stiff with the rebound.
Or maybe they won't need a third if Stiff and Crawford keep this up.
That's true. 70 didn't need a third last night.
They did not. Gant and Lanier played phenomenal.
Fitzmaurice is swatted, and that's another Oshun block tracker swat.
That one wasn't even down low. That was a jumper that he's just, I don't even think he left his feet. He just stuck his arm up that wingspan of his and rejected it.
Oshun being tightly guarded by Stiff. Now it's over to Welch. He'll fire the deep shot. No good. But Oshun with another offensive board. That one can't fall, though. Probably should have taken a dribble to get into the bucket. He was too far away. As Crawford in transition will nail the jumper, and now it's a 3-point lead for the 61 team.
Crawford got off to that slow start. I think it was 1 for 7, but he's already up to 40% now from the field.
Oh, the little pick and roll for Winston there does not work as it's stolen. Stiff now. He was guarded pretty well there by Justin Winston. Good defensive performance right there for Winston. In transition, he'll find Lofton for the lay-in, and once again, it's back to a 1-point game.
Back and forth, Lofton, a nice answer, and we get a timeout now.
Yeah, timeout for the 61 team as we have 11:40 to go in this one, 53-52. The 61 Sweet 16 team is on top. And the T-shirt cannon is back.
The great music from the early 60s on display as well in Butler Gym.
What do we have playing here?
This is Let's Dance.
Coach Schmidt is imploring his team to keep up the intensity on defense. and to lock down Tom Stiff, who has had a tremendous game. He may not top the Daubers 49 from last night, but it may be the second best performance, depending on how this goes here down the stretch. Alejandro Vasquez is checked back in for the Bonnies.
Yeah, Jalen Adams had a great game. We still haven't seen 2018 yet, though.
Petrovic no good. Welch with the rebound. Welch running out. Nice between the legs dribble. Oh, Shun almost had a bigger slam, but it still falls. And 54 to 53, the 2021 squad is on top.
Another lead change, and we still have over 10 minutes left. Feel like this one could go down to the wire. Seems pretty evenly matched.
Tom Stiff into the lane. It's no good, but Jalen Attaway will pick up his second foul.
At the line, Stiff. At the line for 2.
Sedated Coach Mark Schmidt there on the sidelines. Free throw falls for Tom Stiff. Tying this one up once again. Petrovic will take a seat as Hannon checks back in. Second shot is good, and back and forth we go. Lead changes abound. 55-54. 10:40 left. Oh, an alley-oop attempt to Dominic Welch does not work there. Whitey Martin into the lane. Oh, he just sneaks by Oshuni for the layup.
Oshun, gonna say it. If that was real life, I would have swatted that one. Can't believe Martin got that off. And a bad pass on the other end by Lofton on that alley-oop. Something Schmidt's not gonna like.
If he's watching right now, he's going to let us hear it in the chat. But there he is letting us hear it on the court with the slam and the foul.
Another monster dunk by Oshun. That time getting the foul too. And they'll have a chance to tie it now before the end of the third.
Look at the hustle on both ends for Oshuni. Almost getting that swat on Whitey Martin. Then coming back down the court and slamming it home. And heading to the free throw line, where he ties it back up with 10:17 left to go. Tom Stiff is being tightly guarded there by Jalen Attaway. Crawford gets the screen, shoots it over Oshuni and puts it in. And it's been a back and forth first part of this second half. The 1961 squad has led for most of the way, but 2021 is storming back and has taken a couple leads here as they now trail by 2.
Yeah, Tom Stiff has been great throughout. Fred Crawford got off to a slow start, like we said. He was 1 of 7, but since then, he has come alive as well. And this duo, 2 of the all-time greats, are keeping this 1961 team in the lead, trying to fend off what would be another big upset by 2021, but there's a lot of time left. I feel like 2021 a little more balanced today. Can they keep up that balance, get someone else involved other than Oshun, Lofton, maybe get Welch or English or Vasquez involved?
Oshun passed up a little bit of a mismatch there. He's being guarded by Whitey Martin for a second. Tough shot, does not fall, but Oshun with a rebound and a put in. Oshun with 27 points on the night. A big game for the big man.
Look at that field goal percentage, over 80%.
A lot of them, especially in the second half, have been rebounds. And another swat for him to get the Oshun shot block tracker up.
Swatting Stiff there. Let's see if they can capitalize on the other end.
9 minutes left, tied at 59. Oshun once again guarded by Whitey Martin. Passing the ball, though. Alejandro Vasquez, a tough shot there, will not fall, and a shot clock violation. Alejandro, that's the second time tonight where he's been put in a very tough spot and had to chuck it.
Yeah, anytime you're shooting from that deep with no three-point line, you've probably either got a lot of confidence, which he does, or you've been forced into a bad shot.
And we have a foul away from the ball, an illegal screen by Whitey Martin, and that is his fourth foul for the point guard of the 61 squad. He had a moving screen there, I believe, on Jalen Attaway.
Yeah, well, he's going to stay in the game with 4 fouls. If he picks up his 5th, he's, of course, out, and he is their 3rd best player. And Lofton would have a huge advantage at the point if he does foul out.
Alejandro no good on the layup there. Fred Crawford setting it up for Stiff. Into McCulley. McCulley off the glass and in. 61-59. 61 with as many points as their year.
Luckily, 2021 does not have 21 points. They'd be down 40.
They'd be in big trouble. Oshun has more than 21 points, of course, for number 21, but he misses that shot. A rare miss for him tonight. Bounce pass into Tom Stiff, and he puts it in. 28 points for him.
Beautiful pass inside by Crawford. Nice bounce pass to a cutting Stiff.
63-59. Oshun behind the back to Vasquez. Lofton now tightly guarded by Whitey Martin with 4. Little step back there, and you wonder if Whitey Martin gave a little bit too much space because he's worried about that 5th foul.
Yeah, he'll have to play a little passive now, at least until the last couple minutes.
Crawford
Want to
now.
foul out with 7 minutes left.
Whitey Martin there with a jumper. He got around Lofton and got in position and nails the little baseline jumper. We have a 4-point lead for 61 here with 6:43 to go.
You know, it's a good game when a 4-point lead feels like a insurmountable task.
Of course, with no 3-point line, it's a 2-possession game, but now it's a 1-possession game thanks to Lofton and his little jumper. He got Whitey Martin to bite on the pump fake.
Yeah, those two have both had good games, both shooting 50%. Lofton with 16 and Martin with 11.
McCulley now. Oh, he gets it over Oshun, but it's no good there. Vasquez getting out and around, off the glass and in, and a foul. Alejandro. We'll go to the free throw line for the lead.
Nice finish by Vasquez, and look at this, Lofton coming to the bench for a break.
Lofton getting his prescribed 18 seconds of break on the bench. He'll be walking back there to the non-existent scores table by the time 61 dribbles the ball up the court.
Let's see what kind of break Schmidt gives him and Welch.
And there it is. Alejandro, his first 3 points are enormous. They give 2021 the lead back, 66-65. Coming up on 6 to play as both Welch and Lofton, like we said, are already checking back in.
I don't think they even sat down.
Crawford off the glass and in. 61 retaking the lead. English now. It's interesting to see who would be the point guard in this situation between him and Vasquez. Oshun being tightly guarded by Crawford, sorry. Oh, but he moves around him in the slam! Oshuni, 29 points on the night, 14 of 18 shooting, but it's not really much shooting as dunking like that. And a timeout for 1961.
Another monster slam by Oshun. He's put the Shun squad up 1.
Of course, he told us on SB Unfold and Friends, we mentioned it earlier, he wants to improve his perimeter shooting. Tonight's not the night for that when you don't have a 3-point line.
Yeah, and he has a size advantage inside, and he is taking advantage of it. He has been as efficient as you can get down low, and on a floor with Tom Stith and Fred Crawford and even Lofton, he has been the player of the game so far. I think He and Stiff, I would say, for sure.
And it's enormous because he only has one foul. And we know how bad it was whenever he got into foul trouble in real life last season.
Absolutely.
Whitey Martin now being tightly guarded by Lofton with 6 on the shot clock. He'll get the screen. Can't get around him, really. And the tough shot is no good, but McCauley with the rebound, no good, and Oshun with the rebound. Kyle Lofton now as we are under 5 to play here in the final game at Butler Gymnasium of the 2020 Bona Cup. Winner will take on the 1970 Final Four team next Monday. Lofton, mid-range jumper doesn't fall. Oshun tries to tip it out to a teammate, but it's eventually gathered by Fred Crawford.
And I don't know if you're 1970, who you would rather see at this point. You know, you think you'd go with 2021, but they have Oshun inside to maybe fend off the Dauber a little bit. Maybe they do want 61.
Attaway with the rebound and up to Dominic Welch, who's had a quiet night, but that's not a quiet slam. 7 points for Mr. Cheektowaga. I don't think that nickname will catch on. Mr. Cheektowaga.
Not like Boca Bobby.
Not a Boca Bobby one. Oh, and Crawford off the glass and in, and it's 70 to nice with 3:48 to go.
Another great game in Butler Gym.
We've had 4 really good games here at Butler. Woj will be proud of us, considering it was his avatar on Twitter for a while. Oshun cannot make the layup there, even though he got around Whitey Martin. Jarrell, back to Martin. He's guarded by Lofton. Over to Stiff, and Stiff, a little bit of a size advantage against Jaron English, and Stiff now has 30 as he and Oshun are going back and forth, not only on the team scoreboard, but on the personal scoreboard.
Both of these guys could hit 30. I don't think anyone else besides Lanier has.
Whitey Martin with a strip on Oshun, and he'll have the finger roll to put it in. And a timeout for Mark Schmidt. Only one more left for him as 61 holds back in front.
That's why you need Whitey Martin on the floor, even with 4 fouls. Oshun a little too much dribbling out on the perimeter, and Whitey Martin with those quick hands was able to take it away from the big man and go coast to coast.
A very risky strip attempt there by Whitey Martin, but it worked, as he has been switched onto Oshuni for a few possessions here now, as they're trying to exploit that size mismatch, but sometimes the little guys can sneak in there and strip the ball.
Yeah, this team known in their day for their sort of their havoc defense of 61. Quick hands, a lot of steals, getting out into transition and running. See some of Tom Stiff's highlights. They say he's the player of the game right now, but
Way too early to say this.
it is too early. We're going to have to see who wins this one. If 61 wins, you got to give it to Stiff. If 21 wins, you're probably going to have to give it to Oshun.
Well, let's see what happens here as we are inside 3 minutes, 2:45 left to play, 73 to 70. 61, the Sweet 16 team is up on the Modern squad. English trying to set something up there, not really working. Lofton off the screen at the free throw line, doesn't fall, but Winston with a putback. A quiet night for Winston, but that putback was enormous.
Yeah, he had a quiet first half last game, and then he came out in the second half as McCauley gets inside and extends the lead back to 3.
McCauley got a good position in on Oshun and just could not allow him to block it. Lofton gets around Whitey Martin, no, but it's back to Oshun, and he slams it home on McCauley. That is the best poster we have seen so far in the Bona Cup, and it's a huge basket. A Stiff in the lane, no good on the jumper from near the free throw line. Welch out. And they'll reset it. Down 1. No three-point line since we are playing 1961 rules here in Butler Gymnasium. Lofton being tightly guarded, gets around his man and gets it off the glass, and the lead with 1:30 to go. 19 points for the junior point guard.
Another lead change here.
Stiff now at the elbow, rims out. McCauley, though, he gets a putback in. 77-76, back and forth. That is the Bonnie's, the 2021 squad is at 18 points off of rebounds. I'm guessing most of those are Oshun. Lofton does not get the free throw line jumper to fall as we come back with 1:05 to play. Into McCauley, who's had some big points, and a lay-in for him.
McCauley, he could have thrown in the towel after getting posterized, but he's come back with 2 huge buckets to put his team back up 3.
76-50 to go. Oh, the give and go to Lofton off the glass goes in. We've had 11 lead changes, 6 ties. No one has led by more than 9. Tom Stith guarded by Winston. Winston with some good defense, and Oshuni with the rebound. English out to Welch. He'll set it up here with Winston. Oh, and Tom Stith with a big, enormous steal there. And Winston,
if they had it without the 3-point line, I think they have to play this out.
Of course, if they get a rebound, they can call a timeout and advance the ball. But Tom Stith into the lane, off the glass, and in, and a timeout for Mark Schmidt. An enormous bucket there for Tom Stith. He's looking to play Bob Lanier at the Riley Center.
Yeah, if 2021 had a 3-point line, they could have fouled Stith there, and it still would have been a 1-possession game no matter what. But if you foul him and he makes both, the game is pretty much over. Having said that, you got to play better defense than that. They gave up a wide open lane to Stith, and he made it a 3-point game anyway, and that probably sealed the deal. A great game and a great effort, but without a 3-point line, down 3, only 6 seconds left. You need a quick 2 and then a foul.
Fortunately for the 21 squad, they can advance the ball, but they'll need a quick basket, a very quick basket.
Would you have fouled there and hope that he missed one? That's a tough call.
No, not with these rules. You can't foul, like you said. If there was a 3-point line, absolutely. But
It's this such a good free throw shooter that.
Dominic Welch in the corner, the long 2, no good. Girelli with a rebound, and the foul there for Justin Winston on Fred Crawford, and the 1961 Sweet 16 squad can taste that RC Cafe chicken sub, chicken wrap, whatever they want. They're going to be able to get it next week when they play the 1970 Final Four squad, as they are getting ready just 0.7 of a second away from a date with the Dauber.
Yeah, 2021 is going to make their exit out of the Bona Cup. This is a team that hasn't even played a game yet. They did such a phenomenal job upsetting 77 and then taking 61 to the wire. Nothing to hang your hat on if you are in 2021. 2 phenomenal performances against 2 storied, historic Bona teams. They fall a little bit short, and we're going to get Tom Stith in the 1961 team with Fred Crawford against the 1970 Final Four team with Bob Lanier in the Riley Center. What a Final Four matchup that'll be.
What an Elite 8 matchup this was, with Oshuni, and Tom Stith leaving it all out there. But like we said, it will be the 61 Sweet 16 Brown Indians making it all the way across campus to the Riley Center. As we look at the stats here, 32-12 for Tom Stith, 50% shooting. 18 points out of Fred Crawford. Had a very slow start, but definitely picked up steam in the second half.
Yeah, Crawford would start off 1 of 7, ended up very efficient. Hit so many of those nice mid-range jumpers. They needed every one of those.
31 and 24 out of Oshuni.
15 of 20 from the field.
21 points for Kyle Lofton, too. And I think we're just seeing a case where this team, some of the other guys beyond Lofton and Oshun thrive on the 3-point line, whether it's Dominic Welch or or Alejandro Vasquez or Jaron English, they really rely on the three sometimes to get some kind of spark going, and they just weren't able to find the mid-range jumpers.
Yeah, if there was a three-point line, this could have been a totally different ball game. But, hey, 61 earned, of course, home court with how good they were in their day, and they earned to play with their rules. And 2021 did a great job adjusting, a better job adjusting than I think a team like 2002 might be able to do. But man, it was a great game, and I was looking forward to the Final Four no matter who won this. And Stiff versus Lanier, that's going to be great.
Exactly, as we're taking a look at some of the final stats here. A big rebounding advantage for the 2021 squad. Of course, 24 of those rebounds were Oshun. We also had 7 blocks for the 21 squad with that big size advantage, but surprisingly, it was the lack of opening up the offensive game in the half court for the 21 squad that really held them back.
Yeah, 18 second chance points for 2021 kept them in the game. Other than that, a pretty even game throughout, and almost 50% for the 61 squad. 2 more field goals, and they won by 3. A great game.
So we have our second ticket punched to the Riley Center. The 1970 squad won last night, and now the 1961 team took down the modern squad, as those two will face off next Monday in the Riley Center. Of course, our next game will be the 2018 team, the last team to win a game in the NCAA tournament, led by Jalen Adams. They will take on the 2002 squad, who had a great performance and a great comeback win over 1952 last week. Be sure to join us here on SB Unfurled on YouTube tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for that game. Follow us on Twitter at SB Unfurled and at Bona Commenter for all the updates on this tournament. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.